Reports have come out that Javonte Tank Davis, he's a star, and his star's on the rise. He's improving pay-per-view numbers. According to reports, says he did over 200,000. We're going to talk about all that and more. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I need you guys to, if you enjoy the channel, first of all, consider hitting the like button. I encourage you guys to hit the like. It's a great indication to the channel of what content you guys like. Now, let's jump right into it. ESPN reporter posted this. Sources, the Javonte Davis, Mario Barrios Showtime pay-per-view generated in excess of 200,000 pay-per-view buys, outperforming Tank's October pay-per-view with Leo Santa Cruz. The final number likely to fall around anywhere from 210 to 215. Now, this is good. This is great. Steven Espinoza actually has an interview with Ellie, and he stated that every measurable metric from the live gate and attendance numbers and pay-per-views, they're seeing progress, and Tank is actually growing. Tank is actually growing. Now, the ironic thing is you have an ESPN reporter who is saying that it did over 200,000 according to his sources or whatnot. And you had other people on Twitter, on boxing Twitter, who were saying that the Tank pay-per-view tanked and it didn't do good numbers and this, that, and the third. But then an ESPN reporter, as well as the exec that works with Showtime, who Eddie Hearn said was going to be out of business in a year, which hasn't happened. Might I add, Showtime and PBC and Fox have been putting on some killer cards, especially Showtime. Like, if you look at Showtime, their schedule, that Michel Rivera fight was dope, ended dramatic. He got dropped for the first time, and then he came back to knock the guy out with the single shot. He kind of had the trunks that made him look like Muhammad Ali. I'm sure you guys could find pictures on the internet. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But that was a good fight. And then the main event with Chris Colbert, he looked good and he shined. See, this is the interview, I believe. So make sure you guys check that on his page. And there's the knockout. See, people were likening him to Muhammad Ali because his hair and he had the Ali trunks and stuff like that. Shout out to Steven Espinoza. He retweeted my tweet. Oh, okay. Oh, here's the picture. That's what I was looking for. See, he kind of resembles Muhammad Ali. So he had a killer knockout. Chris Colbert looked good. That's a great picture. Whoever took that, that's a great picture. So back to Javonte Davis. People lying on him. The kid is lit. People are saying he not the dude. And guess what? The numbers are saying something else. I tell you all the time on my channel, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And from 130 to 140, Tank is the man. It's just, it's what it is. You can lie, you can get mad, you can kick and scream, but when them numbers come out, it is what it is. And there's a lot of people who they may love boxing, but they don't understand it. It's like the scene in White Men Can't Jump where Wesley Snipes was telling Woody Harrelson, you listen to Jimi Hendrix, but you don't hear Jimmy. There's a lot of people that don't hear Jimmy in the world of boxing. They may love it. They may like follow it, know the players, know the faces and stuff like that, but they really don't get boxing because some people, and I want to give you guys this example, but some people are going to say like, oh, 200,000 Tank sucks. That's a failure. But what is really a failure? We're still in the pandemic and they're charging $75. I bought it. I got my receipts. I did the Boxing Eagle watch party. So I was one of the people that bought Tank because I'm definitely going to support a kid from an inner city black kid like Javonte Davis, who could have done a bunch of things different, and he chose what was right, followed his passion, his dreams, the sport of boxing, stuck with it. So I ordered it. I'm always going to support the people who are doing it right, especially when there's so many different distractions and vices that in different ways people can go. So I like to see that, and I want to see the fight do good. And top of that, Tank is an entertaining fighter, and he's a beast to watch. His last performance, why would I not want to see what he got in store for the Barrios fight, and I'm glad I tuned in. But some people are gonna still hate and say, "Oh, 200 something, that's a bad look." But what's really a bad look? If you charging $75, right, and you do 2 million, or excuse me, 200. I don't know why I said that. Let's say 200 and we'll say 210, right? 210,000, right? Times 75, plus there's taxes and stuff like that. You've generated an extra $16 million, basically. You dig? So how is that a loss? When I told you guys how this pay-per-view stuff works, you can listen to me, you can not listen to me. It doesn't matter. I get paid either way. But this is the way pay-per-view works. There's a lot of people like Eddie Hearn and DAZN that came in the game and lied to you. They said pay-per-view will not matter. Now, and they put out commercials with Tracy Morgan. DAZN was saying, bye-bye pay-per-view. Pay-per-view's dead, and Eddie Hearn told you that. But you notice in more recent times, Canelo's fights have been made available through cable packages on pay-per-view. But I thought you said you're killing off pay-per-view in America. And the thing that made no sense when Eddie Hearn said that from the beginning is the fact that he says pay-per-view was dead only in America, whilst he kept charging people pay-per-views over there in the UK for horrible fights. You know what I mean? Like Dillian White, like not horrible, but some of them were horrible. But some fights that really shouldn't have been pay-per-view in any region. Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Joseph Parker, and Derek Chisora, Usyk, Derek Chisora. I mean, are those really pay-per-view fights? So regardless of the price point, those aren't really pay-per-view fights. So it's funny to see Tank get this type of hate. But moreover, what I'm trying to stress to you guys is you got to look at it. DAZN said pay-per-view was dead, but then they tried to join pay-per-view in a sense. And the other thing is this. Canelo is basically still fighting on pay-per-view. It's just at an insufferable lower price. You know, instead of $75, you're paying $20. You cannot watch Canelo without paying something. So it's basically like a baby pay-per-view. And here's the thing. I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but $20 versus almost $80 when you're talking about taxes, that's 4 times greater. I told you, I did the math from the beginning. That's 4 times greater. So for every one pay-per-view that Tank or Errol Spence or Wilder sells, it would take 4 DAZN, 3.5 DAZN buys to equate to that. So that means for fights like Canelo Avni Yildirim, I don't know how many people tune in because DAZN keeps that in-house and they don't really release their numbers, but it would have to do 3-4 times greater than these numbers to be profitable. And to make it even make less sense, DAZN is paying Canelo an outrageous and an absorbent amount of money that really doesn't make sense given the traffic these events are getting. And even though they haven't released the numbers, I can tell because I myself have a business in boxing and a small business, and I know when the fans are hyped for a fight because you guys let me know that via comments, via viewership. And it's not just my channel. You can go on YouTube. When Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz or Barrios, everybody's talking about it. The Avni Yildirim, people seem like genuinely disgusted and angry with that particular fight. Even the fight with Billy Joe Saunders, which was at least a step up from the Yildirim fight, they never released the numbers. So at a cheaper price point, you do the math, who's winning? Showtime not paying Tank a stupid amount up front, like $35 million or $40 million, and then he gets a flat guaranteed purse. And on top of that, based on the success and as he continues to grow on pay-per-view, he makes more and more money. Plus, you're getting a lot of exposure because CBS owns Showtime. They get these knockouts. Everybody's posting about it, stuff like that. So to me, that seems to be a winning formula. So I think Showtime is proven, PBC is proven what they're doing. They're making stars. Leonard Ellerbe, Mayweather Promotion, they're making stars. Tank Davis is actually a star. And to further my cause and what I've said and told to you and delivered, some people, because I know a lot of the racists, they get on the channel and they want to hate on certain fighters. But here's the thing. If these numbers hold up, which it sounds like they do, ESPN's reporting it, and Steven Espinoza sounded happy when he did that interview with Ellie, that these numbers have shown progress and you're moving the needle in the right direction, at least with Tank, right? And just to put this in a deeper perspective, because you'll still have some of the racists and people come in and hate and say, oh, Ego, you don't know what you're talking about. Boom. Canelo Alvarez versus, this is from 2014, Canelo Alvarez on HBO. No, actually, this was a Showtime fight. Canelo fought Edeslandi Lara after Mayweather. So keep in mind, he had already fought Shane Mosley, Jose Cito Lopez, Trout, Floyd Mayweather, Angulo. He had already had those fights. So we already knew, because they built, before he even fought Floyd, they built Canelo on Floyd undercards, on pay-per-view cards for Floyd, like the Victor Ortiz fight. He fought Alfonso Gomez. He fought Shane Mosley on the Cotto undercard, etc. So Canelo was already a star and known about because he had already been built on Floyd Mayweather undercards. Then finally he got Floyd, got schooled in that fight, and then later bounced back with the Angulo. And then his next fight after that was Edeslandi Lara. You guys see Canelo versus Lara, it generated how much? About 300,000 buys. And then the fight with Angulo coming off the loss to Floyd did about 350,000. You see what I'm saying? So when we're talking about it and Tank's doing 200,000 plus in a pandemic, these aren't bad numbers. When Canelo was coming after the Mayweather loss, this is right around where he was tracking, you know? And you have to keep in mind, I know Mario Barrios, no disrespect to him, but you have to understand Barrios wasn't the biggest name out there. It wasn't like Tank versus Ryan Garcia or something like that, where Ryan got 8.8 million. So the ceiling is great. And performances like that just add to the legend, because at some point, just like Floyd Mayweather and stuff, people are going to be like, all right, I keep hearing about this kid. Let me tune in. And then when you tune in and see a Javonte show, you're like, all right, he could scrap. He's fun to watch. He mini Mike Tyson or whatever you feel about it. So it keeps getting greater and greater, because you have to understand, in this society, nobody wants to feel, why do you think live streams and IGTV and, TikToks and stuff are becoming better? Because people want more behind the scenes. They want more access, and ultimately they want stuff in real time, and they don't want to have to feel like they're missing anything. So Tank is becoming one of those types of people where you don't want to miss a Tank show, and it's only going to get better because more people keep talking about it and more people keep showing up, and you hear more and more. Then you're going to eventually, they keep building them and he keeps tracking like this and showing this type of progress. You're going to be like, all right, I'm going to catch the next one, So that's how you build a star. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Again, I encourage you guys to smash the likes, throw a like up on there. And that's all I got to say. Shout out to Tank, Showtime, Mayweather Promotions, Calvin Ford, Leonard Ellaby Alden. Tank is definitely on the right track, and he's taking his career serious. So that's what I do like. And like me, I talk about the numbers and stuff, but talk about the product. A lot of people want to focus on the numbers and stuff. I do that because this is my job. I get paid to do this, and I want to inform and let people know what the latest happenings are and stuff like that. But ultimately, let's talk about the fight. Barrios and Tank was an action fight with rewatchability. It has that rewatchability factor. I definitely am going to watch this again. I didn't watch the replay because I was busy, but I'm definitely going to watch it again, So let's talk about the product, the numbers and stuff. That's cool. People want to know about purses and stuff, but I want to talk about what I actually seen, which was a great fight and a high level of skill. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We work.